Hi everyone, my name is Alicia and welcome back to my channel. This is my second video in my Art 101 series. Last time we looked at shading in basic forms. Today we will be looking at the basics of color mixing. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is how to mix up a color wheel. A color wheel is essentially a diagram of all of our basic colors. We're going to start with our primary colors, meaning red, blue, and yellow. These three primary colors are essentially the basis for all of the other colors on the color wheels. All colors can be made by mixing these three colors together. Now we're going to be mixing our secondary colors, which are essentially the next level of colors below our primaries. These are made by mixing primary colors together. So the first one we're making is red and blue, which makes purple. That's why I'm placing it between those two dots there. Our second one is composed of red and yellow. This creates orange. And our third color is a mix of yellow and blue. This creates a green. As you can see, these three colors are made by combinations of the first three colors, red, blue, and yellow. Beyond just your primaries and secondaries, you can continue mixing dots to create even more subdivisions of more specific colors. For this first one, I showed you how to mix red and purple to give you magenta. You can also mix purple with blue and it'll give you a violet color. Mixing blue with green will give you a color that most like to call aquamarine or teal. As you can see, you can keep on mixing different colors to create even more specific ones. Green and yellow, for example, will give you a yellow-green that people call chartreuse. Yellow and orange will give you a color called marigold. And lastly, red and orange will give you a color that people like to call vermilion. As you can see, colors are not just limited to the wheel. You can keep on mixing colors within the wheel to get even more specific combinations. Now within the wheel, there are several combinations that are good to know. The first are complementary colors, which are opposites on the color wheel. I'll point them out here. So you got blue and orange, purple and yellow, and red and green. Those complementary colors usually go well together in artworks or compositions. Another useful combination of colors are your warm and cool colors. Here I'm marking out the cool colors for you on the left half of the color wheel. And the warm colors I'm going to do on the right side. Your warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. Your cool colors are purple, blue, and green. Colors in these groups tend to go well together. The last thing that's important to know for mixing colors is how to use black and white. Now these colors are not exactly on the color wheel, but they're very important in deciding different factors of colors, such as the lightness or darkness. This is also known as tints or shades of the color. Black controls the shade side of things. You use black to shade any of the colors on the color wheel. When you shade a color, it makes it darker, and it also makes it less saturated. I'm going to use red as an example here. We'll start off with a true red. Now look at what happens when you add a little bit of black. The red becomes darker and it becomes less vibrant. Now it looks more like a blood red. Now instead of shading colors with white, you use white to create tints. Similar to black, you can apply it to any color on the color wheel, and it makes the color lighter and more pastel. I'm going to use the same true red as an example here. Like on the dark side, we're just going to start with a true red straight from the palette. Now look what happens when I take white and I add it to the red. It creates more of a pink color. As you can see, it's lighter and it's more pastel. If you add more white, it will become more light and more pastel looking. Now that we know how to mix colors, let's talk about the meaning of these colors. Knowing the meaning of colors is important so you can choose appropriate colors for your artwork to convey certain emotions and themes. Here I'm just using my pencils to draw up the color wheel again. Now that we have our color wheel drawn out, we can go through each of the colors and their meanings. Firstly, red means passion and it really easily grabs the viewer's attention. It can also mean anger for a negative emotion. Orange is the color of energy and the color of creativity. Yellow, quite simply, is the color of happiness and the color of youth. Green can symbolize health, but it can also symbolize jealousy. Blue is usually associated with people who are calm and trustworthy. Purple is the color of wealth and the color of ambition. Although black is not on the color wheel, black has many useful meanings like power, elegance, and even death. Lastly, white is usually the color of purity and the color of peace. Okay, now it's time to go through a quick summary of what we learned today. So the first thing we looked at was our color wheel. We started with our colors red, blue, and yellow. We mixed our primary colors to create our secondary colors, which were purple, green, and orange. From those colors, you can keep on mixing colors on the wheel to get even more specific. Then we talked about useful combinations, like our complementary colors, which are opposites on the color wheel, and our warm and cool colors. Cool colors are green, purple, and blue, and our warm colors are red, orange, and yellow. The last thing we went through is the meanings of all the colors, which you can see on the left. Knowing the meanings are useful if you want to create a certain mood or a certain message in your artwork. You use the colors associated with the message that you want to get across. Alright, that concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. And I hope you learned a little bit about how to mix colors and what those colors mean. This was the second video in my Art 101 series, and if you're interested in seeing more, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!